Hello Taurus, thank you for joining me. This is your April forecast 2017 for Taurus rising, sun sign and moon sign. I'm going to be giving you a general overview because we've got 4 planets moving direct this month, and then I'll be looking at the dates. So first of all, we've got Venus still going retrograde, and Venus is now in Pisces. We'll be entering Pisces on the 3rd. It's in the last degrees of Aries, where it's been really behind the scenes for you, and probably looking at what's kind of any healing that's had to be done, you know, anything connected to the past where you felt maybe undervalued. And now it's going to be moving into Pisces, which is your area of your hopes, your dreams, friendships, communities that you belong to, and associations you have, networking. So you'll be rethinking this area of your life, probably what groups serve you, you know, what your hopes and wishes are, if they're really what you want, you know, what desires you have, how you want to, what you want to happen in your life, the kinds of people you want to associate with, how well has this been serving you? Looking at that kind of a thing. Saturn is going retrograde, and this is on the 5th of April, and this is in Sagittarius, in your 8th house. So this is quite a big one really, because Saturn in the 8th house is asking you to look at power and issues of intimacy and money and the kind of things that we tend to, you know, not want to look at: tax, inheritances, death, that kind of thing. How have you been using your power? Where have you perhaps been giving away power? Do you know how you've been using it? How do you what methods have you used to try and control your environment, and are they still serving you? You know, how do you show up in your intimate relationships? Are there frustrations? Are you frustrated? Are you not getting what you need on a financial level or on an intimate level? There are things to look at and to get to the truth of. And it can show where we're giving our power away as well. You know, if we've got any unhealthy addictions or any beliefs that don't serve us well, you know, deep psychological issues that maybe need to be resolved from childhood. And Saturn is asking you to get clear on this, and to become grounded, to become realistic about how you handle your finances, how you handle intimacy, and how you handle power. Because this month is really a spring cleaning month, and I'm telling all of the signs this is a chance for us to really get to the bottom and the truth of things, to know what it is we want, who we are, and with that we know how to move forward. If we don't know what we want or who we are, then how can we make plans that really serve us? So we're really being asked to get to the truth of who we are, and any blocks you've been experiencing, any difficulties you've been experiencing in these areas are really opportunities for you to look deeper. Because quite often, if we're experiencing a block or the same kind of circumstances over and over again, it means that there's something we haven't been looking at, something we haven't been aware of. So Saturn here is asking you to get real, essentially. To get real, to see clearly where you've been giving your power away, and then to with this understanding, move forward with grounding and an honest and realistic sense of who you are. It's asking you to become self-empowered, but there will be things to look at here. Mercury is going retrograde this month, and this is in Taurus, and that's on the 8th of April. Taurus is, of course, your sign. So Mercury going retrograde here, you know, you're going to be rethinking yourself, basically. How you show up, who you are, what you present to the world. And this kind of fits in with that Saturn starting to go retrograde in your 8th house. You know who you are, what you present to the world. Do you own your power? Do you truly own who you are? Do you show up as who you are? So you might be starting to rethink these kinds of things. Pluto is going retrograde towards the end of the month, and that's in Capricorn. That's on the 20th, and that's in your 9th house. So Pluto is about transformation, and there's something here that needs to transform, that needs to change. Once again, in order for you to move forward, with your truth as who you truly are. So perhaps you've been aiming for something. Perhaps there have been plans. Maybe you've decided on a certain life direction. Maybe you wanted to travel abroad. Maybe you wanted to relocate or go to higher learning. But there's something that needs to be changed here. There's something that needs to be transformed because something needs adjusting. There's a truth that needs to be looked at so that you can then come through this period clearer and feeling more empowered as to what your long range plans are. So there's a lot of transformation, there's a lot of going inward this month, there's a lot of reassessing. For some people this can be frustrating, but ultimately this is asking us to be honest, asking us to be true to ourselves. We are in the age of man, you know, and people are starting to say, hey, we don't want to be controlled anymore, we don't want to give our power away anymore. And this is happening on a collective level and an individual level. So you're being asked to, you know, okay, so you want that power, you want to be self-actualized, you want to live a meaningful and happy, fulfilling, prosperous life. Well, this is the work you've got to do it. So that's what's going on here. So we've got a lot of activity going on in your 12th house, which all relates to this really. You know, it's a sense of getting to the truth of who you are, so that then when the sun enters your sign on the 19th, you come out feeling renewed and refreshed and with a clearer idea of who you are and where you want to go. So on the 3rd, as I said, retrograde Venus enters Pisces. So she'll be going into your 11th house. So there could be a review of matters to do with, you know, your social contacts, your acquaintances, and your hopes and your dreams. I feel like there's some healing to be done around this area. And it's a sense of, you know, what serves me, what works for me, what truly reflects who I am. I mean, what people do I surround myself with who are positive and uplifting? What groups do I associate with that give me that feeling of joy? Looking at things like this and looking about where it is you want to go. What are your dreams? What are your hopes? There could be some reflection to do with this. On the 5th of April, we have Saturn going retrograde in Sagittarius, which I just spoke to you about. So, you know, realizing that maybe you didn't know what you thought you knew in terms of where you give your power away, and reviewing certain things so that you can move forward, achieve those goals with a clearer image of who you are and what you've been doing, what your maybe negative habits that you've got to drop, or patterns of behaviour that need to be looked at. On the 6th, we've got Mars in your sign, and that's trining Pluto in Capricorn. So this is quite nice because it's giving you a sense of focus and determination and drive and energy. You want to know where you're going. You want to expand. You want to transform whatever it is, whatever goals you have. You want to move forward, and you want to move forward empowered, and you're willing. I feel like there's a willingness to make whatever changes are necessary. And so that gives you the endurance to bear through this period. On the 11th, we have a full moon in Libra in your 6th house, and that's conjunct in Jupiter. So it's a very positive full moon. There's feelings of generosity and optimism. And this full moon could be quite supportive in terms of your work. It might bring something to fruition, something that could be financially quite rewarding. There could be good news in that sense. Or on a health level, you might be feeling like, okay, you know what? I know that I want to feel healthier, I want to feel better, and I've got the optimism to make changes in my health habits and my routines. And so that's a really nice and supportive energy for that. On the 14th, we've got the Sun conjuncting Uranus in Aries, and that's in your 12th house. So here I feel you might be getting some inspiration. You might be wanting to break free, like inspiration to kind of break free of maybe some things that have held you back in the past. Any subconscious drives you've had that haven't been doing you any good. There could be some breakthroughs, and even your ego energy could be kind of submitting to this, you know, could be surrendering to this kind of, okay, I can see where I've been giving my power away, or I can see what's not been serving me, and actually I want to be free of that, and I want to feel renewed. So this, on the 14th, there could be some insights as to that. On the 15th, we have Venus, your ruling planet, and that's turning direct in Pisces. So you've been reviewing things, you've been healing certain things, and things might have felt a bit distant in terms of your social contacts, in terms of your friends. You might have been reviewing things, but now things are starting to turn direct, and Venus is travelling close to Chiron, so hopefully there's been healing around that. Hopefully you've got a better idea of who it is you value, what it is you value, and what your dreams are. And now we're going to be able to move forward with that knowledge, so that's really positive. On the 17th, we've got Venus in Pisces, still in that 11th house, and that's sextiling Mars in your sign. So you can see what's happened here. You know, you've had this period of review. Now Venus is starting to move direct. Then on the 17th, you're feeling energized. You're feeling energized, and you're feeling in harmony with the group consciousness, with your goals, with your wishes, with your friendship groups, with your kind of place in the world. You're feeling quite supported. So it's a really positive aspect there. On the 19th, we've got the Sun entering your sign, so happy birthday to all you early born Tauruses. So this is nice because where you've been doing this reviewing, you know, and where you've been kind of going over things, you're starting to feel a sense of renewal. You're starting to kind of come out of that 12th house. Your energy is coming back. Your sense of drive is coming back. You've got Mars there as well. So you're starting to feel a little bit more like you, which is really positive. Starting to feel a little bit more confident and a little bit more grounded and together. Mercury is still retrograde though, so bear in mind that there are still things to consider. You're still going to be thinking about how you show up in the world and what you do. There'll be probably a part of you that wants to just kind of get out there and get at things. Try and harmonise those two energies, you know, and allow yourself to have that time to review things in regard to how you feel about yourself, how you show up in the world, who you are, but also allow yourself to be self-expressive and to feel that kind of renewed sense of self. But there's still a period of review with Mercury going retrograde here. So, where are we? On the 20th, Pluto now turns retrograde in Capricorn, which I spoke about. So there's something that needs to change. There's something that needs to change in order for you to have the professional success that you want. Something that needs to be transformed, and a deep transformation in order for you to actualize those long-range plans, whether it's just long-range plans to do with your life's direction or long-range plans to do with your career. It could be that you're looking at maybe working abroad, something like that. It could be to do with higher education. But there's something to be transformed and shifted, and this is going to go on for a few months as well. So it's quite a long retrograde period, but just go with it and know that whatever changes are made, you know, they will be positive, and you will get further in the long run. So then on the 21st, Mars enters Gemini, your second house. So you're thinking now more about, your drive is more on finances, resources, how you can use your resources wisely, and implementing ideas as to how to make the most of your resources. On the 24th, we've got Mercury in Aries in your 12th house, and that's trining Saturn in Sagittarius. So you could be getting some kind of intuition, because Mercury is retrograde as well, you know, we tend to think with the right brain. so the more intuitive side of ourselves. So Mercury is open to intuitive ideas, it's open to flashes of kind of inspiration. So with it in your 12th house and trining Saturn and Sagittarius in your 9th house, you could suddenly have an idea of, right, okay, this is what structure I need to put in place in order to transform my long-range plans, in order to get what I want out of my future. There could be some support here, and you could even receive some communication from somebody who might assist you with that, somebody in power. On the 26th, we have a new moon in your sign, which is really nice. You know, you're feeling renewed, you're feeling a bit more positive. There's a feeling of, like, you know, there's been so much going on an internal level. You're starting to feel like things are breaking through, and like certain things have been kind of laid to rest, and it's all lovely because you've got the sun in your sign, and then this new moon in your sign. So it's like a, how can I put it? It's like emerging from the shadows, you know. So there's fresh starts, fresh beginnings. You should be feeling better about who you are, where you're going in the world, and that's a really lovely feeling. And so then on the 28th, we've got Mercury, which is conjunct Uranus, and that's in Aries. So once again, you could be getting I feel like your dreams could be very interrupted this month, to be honest, with Uranus there, with Mercury retrograde in your 12th house. Your intuitive side, your dreams might be bringing you a lot of messages, so try and listen to them if you can, because there might be messages there as to how you can better move forward and how you can reclaim that power that you might have been giving away with, you know, in that 8th house area. So there's a lot going on this month, there's a lot going on for all of us, and I really hope that you're finding the truth of who you are, and you're starting to kind of understand what it is that you need, what it is that you desire, because this is really what it's about. We're being asked to become the masters of our own realities, you know. We're being asked to perform spiritual alchemy and to self-actualize. So that's what a lot of this energy is about. Although we really want to move forward in some ways, at the same time we have to understand that there's an inward going process that happens at times, and it asks us to get to the truth of who we are so that we can move forward with purpose and with self-honesty and integrity. So I hope you enjoyed your reading, Taurus. I hope it made sense to you. I feel like there's a lot going on. If you're interested in extended reading, I am doing tarot readings on Vimeo videos. There's a link below, and it's £2 for a reading. It gives you further insight into this month for you. So if you're interested in that, then go ahead and purchase one of those. But have a wonderful month and enjoy your birthday. And yes, you are being supported. You are being asked to reclaim your power. So go ahead and do it. Take care, Taurus. Thank you. Bye-bye.